Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for October 16th. October 16th is the 289th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 290th in leap years, with 76 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is antithetical. Antithetical is an adjective that means directly opposite, opposed, or contrasted, in direct opposition, mutually incompatible. Antithetical comes to us from Latin and Greek before that. First documented use of the word antithetical is 1500s. And with that, we're going to start by talking about William Weston, somebody you've probably never heard of. I certainly hadn't. He was an English theologian, historian, and mathematician. Big fan of Isaac Newton, he was. He lived from 1667 to 1752, so what? Now, you might remember I just said he was a theologian, but he had some unusual views about religion that are actually plausible if you think about it. For example, even though he believed that the Bible was a book of spiritual truth, he felt that the concept of hell was absurdly cruel and antithetical to any notion of love, of the love of God, of God's love. He had another idea or two as well, and these ideas got him into trouble with the church, caused him to lose his professorship and be expelled from the University of Cambridge. He also studied comets. He studied them, lectured on them, wrote books about them. William Weston believed that Noah's flood had been caused by a comet, for example, and that comets were responsible for several past catastrophes on Earth. Something in William Weston's study of comets, in fact, prompted him to predict that the world would end on October 16th of 1736 because a comet would hit the Earth because of a comet strike. Fortunately, he was wrong about that, and it didn't happen. October 16th, 1736, he was just sure that a comet was going to destroy the Earth. I'm glad he was wrong about that. This is the birthday of baseball great Goose Gosling, born October 16th, 1900. Isn't that a great name? I think they probably nicknamed him Goose because Gosling is kind of a goose name. He was a left fielder and was elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 1968 by the Veterans Committee, and he lived to the age of 70. The last known case of naturally occurring case of variola major smallpox was reported in October of 1977. Smallpox was an utterly miserable disease to have, and it had about a 30% fatality rate, which means that about 1 out of 3 people who got it died. Because it was so contagious, it tended to hit in waves of outbreak throughout history. The earliest evidence of smallpox goes back as far as 3 BC, as seen in Egyptian mummies. Yesterday by the Beatles began its second of 4 weeks at the number 1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 on October 16, 1965. First released on the album Help in August of that year, and as a single in the US in September, it's a lovely, heartbroken ballad about lost love. The tune came to Paul McCartney as he awoke from sleep one morning, proof that writing down those ideas upon awakening is a good idea. It took him a while to get it all finished up to his satisfaction, but what a great result. Yesterday by the Beatles, number 1, October 16th, 1965. Link in the description. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with the link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page that is called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, Parler, BitChute, and Getter. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.